Hi everyone, this is Shiva from Tribuli. Today my topic is application of second order PDA. Introduction. Partial difference equation PDA deal with a function that depends on multiple variables. A second order PDA involves in derivatives up to the second level. A second order PDA is an equation that includes the second derivative of unknown function. The order depends on the highest derivative present. Even if lower derivatives are present in the highest one decides the order. Applications of second order PDA. Define second order PDA partial equation. A second order partial differential equation is an equation that involves an unknown function of two or more independent variables and its partially derivates up to the second order with at least one second order derivative presence. Simple equations. It is a PDE because it involves in a partial derivative. It is second order because the higher derivative of order 2, the unknown function is usually written as a u into xy. A second order PD can appear in different form depending on its structure, coefficient and terms. These variable helps us to understand how to solve and classify the equation. I based on linearity. Linear PDA, the unknown function and its derivatives appear in the simple way. No multiplication or power of derivatives. Non-linear PDE contains the power of product of the function or its derivatives more complex to solve. Highest order derivative appear in the small form. Lower order terms may be non-linear. Based on a homogeneous PDA does not contain any independent term. All terms depends on the function of its derivatives. All terms depends on the function of its derivatives. Non-homogeneous PDA contain an extra term independent of the function. Represents the external effects. Based on the nature of the equation, elliptical type represents standard state condition used in a problem like temperature distribution. Parabolic type represents the time dependent process used in the heat flow problems. Hyperbolic type represents a wave motion used in the wave vibration and sound problems. Based on the coefficient, constant coefficient PDF, PD. Coefficients are fixed values, variable coefficients PDE. Coefficient period change the variables based on number of variables. Two variables period depends on two independent variables. Multivariable PD depends on the more than two variables. Importance. Second order PD are widely used because they model real life physical system. Many natural phenomena follow the equation. Example: temperature distribution in a plate, vibrating of a sliding momentum of a fluids. Classification of overview. Second order PD are classified based on linearity, homogeneity, type, coefficient. These classifications help us understand the equation, choosing solving techniques. Using of a variation of second order PD. The variation of a second order partial differences equation like are not just classification, they are very useful in understanding, solving and applying PD in real world problem. Main points of the variation of the second order PD. The variation of means changing the form of second order PD on condition and application. It helps in adapting equation to different real world problems depending on physical conditions such as medium, external force, boundary initial conditions, provides flexibility in mathematical modeling, helps in simplifying complex equation of approximations. Advantages: provides flexibility, simplifies the complex problem, helps in better analysis and prediction. Disadvantages: makes equation more complex, difficult to solve different forms, needs advanced methods. Key points to remember: classification depends on only on ABC. Similar to sequence of quadratic equation, each time represents a different physical phenomenon. Characteristics methods use used mainly for hyperbolic equations, converts PD into ordinary differential equation, helping in solving wave equation. Application of second order partial differences equation. Second order PD are widely used to describe real world physical phenomena such as a wave, electricity and fluid flow. Conclusion: variation of a second order PD are classified into elliptical, parabola, hyperbolic types of based on their form. Each type of helps describe different real life problem like heat flow, waves and state system. Understanding the variation make easier to solve practical problem in science and engineering. Thank you.